Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for the Gaisourg and Tyramigo vinyl figures from Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger. You know, part of the Sentai Hero series. Usually we have like the core group and then 6 Rangers come along, but we got some kind of fun releases now. They're not perfect, but I do kind of like them in a way because they're changing the game up a little bit. Because we don't get villains that often. I feel like the last time we got a villain was Tokyuger, but he's kind of a special case because he's very Ranger-esque, which works in his favor. You know, he was in the Sentai battle, and I dig his design a lot, so I'm glad to have something for it. I'm definitely mixed on the figure. I mean, it's just a standard cheap vinyl figure, very minimal articulation and movement, nothing too special to write home about. In that regard, if you're in any way familiar with these, you know what you're in for. Often the Ranger ones look pretty good, like decent little statues. I feel this one's pretty cool, like the purple's fine, and if you can see it, it actually looks really nice under the lights, but the gray actually is kind of more of a nice silver that's glittery, which is just kind of a nice touch, and I think it's really nice that they went for that, so it didn't make it look so overwhelmingly cheap with the gray bits, and they actually tried to make it look like silver, which was really nice. But unfortunately, he's missing like just the right details, so he still looks really plain. Like, again, these are cheap figures. I'm not expecting like a $30, $20, $60 figure paint job out of this, but it's like one of those where they just missed enough where it still looks cheap. So I don't know. I think he's pretty cool in terms of the sparkles. Like, I think he's so sparkly. But I wish they would have done a little bit more, but I'm happy to at least have something for now until there's a hopeful better alternative for a figure for him. But I'm glad they did a release for him, even if he's not perfect. Then you have Tyramigo. I do hope they finish these out. Back in the day, they did one for Gabutira and just stopped. In Kishiryu, I think it would be nice to actually have a full team of these just to keep something going. He doesn't look as good as the Gabutira one, which I think had a lot more personality and a lot more paint, but I'm appreciative that they made it. It gets enough of the details. And these are pretty basic anyway, so it's not like it's missing a whole lot. It's just kind of in the way the red is molded that makes it look basic. So I would say that he actually looks a little bit more detailed than Gaisourg in some ways. And he's got, well, technically not more articulation, because he can move his back legs here, which is the same as moving his arms. So I guess you can kind of have him in a, like, actually I was going to say, like, oh, this is a running pose. It looks like he's about to break dance, like boom, boom, psh, psh. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, he can also move his head, which is basically the equivalent of the waist articulation, which is a very appreciated detail because he does that a lot in the show, and I feel it adds personality to it. So I appreciate that. So, I mean, honestly, that's about it. These are pretty easy and quick reviews. There's not a whole lot to these guys. Basically, if you just want something cheap and you're impatient or all you can afford is something cheap, these are at least worth taking a look at. I think Gaisourg's a bit disappointing, but if you really want something from him, it's not like you're going to be breaking the bank. And this is kind of a nice little adorable Tyramigo edition, which I appreciate. But anyway, that's about it for this one. Until next time, don't forget to comment, subscribe, and of course, don't forget to climb the steps and ring that bell to get notifications for all my videos. Until next time, Dawson Rider, signing out.